Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a fiercely geopolitical explainer that strips away the shiny corporate branding to reveal exactly who controls the future of artificial intelligence. We're looking at the cult classic The Big Nine by futurist Amy Webb. Now, this isn't your standard coding overview. It is a hard-hitting, game theory analysis of our digital fate.
Look, living in 2026, it's incredibly easy to assume AI is just this independent, neutral tool. We all use large language models every single day. But here is the hard truth. Artificial intelligence does not possess an unbiased collective soul. The baseline code you rely on, it's already locked in with the political and commercial desires of its creators.
Here's the roadmap for today's briefing. We'll be covering the myth of neutrality, the dual cartel split, the hidden bias infusion, three paths for humanity, the infrastructure system lock, and finally, securing your sovereignty.
All right, diving right into part one, the myth of neutrality.
We really need to stop and ask ourselves, is the technology processing our daily business lives actually objective, or is it silently pushing a specific agenda? When you peek under the hood at the underlying architecture of modern AI, you quickly realize that the biases of its developers are literally woven right into its digital DNA. According to Webb's strict game theory analysis, it all boils down to one staggering number: 9. The entire global infrastructure of artificial intelligence is concentrated in the hands of just 9 tech titans. That's it. Which brings us to part 2, the dual cartel split. This concentration literally splits the globe into two sharp opposing zones. Over on the left, in Silicon Valley, you have the 6 nodes of the G-Mafia: Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and IBM. Their primary focus is Wall Street margins. Then, on the right, heavily concentrated in Shenzhen, you have the 3 heavy crimson nodes of the Bat Triad: Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. Their focus? Absolute state control. And the rest of the world? We're just living in a dark gray matrix valley, completely reliant on these 2 rival cartels. Breaking it down further, Webb points out that the G-Mafia essentially rushes AI to market for short-term profit, stock bumps, and ad revenue, frequently bypassing rigorous safety audits. In stark contrast, her analysis notes that the Bat Triad doesn't operate for open market profit at all. Instead, they serve a strict national vision focused on state tracking and massive social credit systems to achieve global geopolitical sovereignty. Moving on to part 3, the hidden bias infusion. Think about your company's clean data stream running through an AI model. Whenever you deploy external language or automation models, these spectral ghost wireframes, things driven by short-term monetization or mass behavioral grading, silently morph right into your prompt output processing. Without you even noticing, your corporate workflows absorb these preloaded commercial and social control biases, altering your data's trajectory entirely behind the scenes. So, where does this all lead us? That's part 4, 3 paths for humanity. Webb projects 3 distinct paths for our future. First, there's the optimistic scenario, where transparent data alignment brings unmatched prosperity. Then there's the pragmatic scenario. In this one, we get incredible convenience, sure, but at the steep cost of total privacy loss and algorithmic ad control dictating our subconscious choices. And then there's the deeply terrifying catastrophic scenario. Let's unpack that absolute worst case in part 5, the infrastructure system lock. If we track this timeline out, starting from our heavy reliance on closed-source models today in 2026, we hit severe data crashes and escalating cyber warfare by 2035. And by 2050, global democratic infrastructure is completely paralyzed. This path clearly shows how an over-reliance on monolithic closed-source cloud layers introduces catastrophic civilizational risks. Imagine a futuristic democratic city in the year 2050. A sudden digital scan wave passes through, and instantly, all the banks, electrical power grids, and satellite antenna arrays lock down into a crimson network reading "Infrastructure access denied, redirection active." In this scenario, foreign AI networks completely paralyze sovereign territories. Nations lose absolute oversight of their core life support metrics. It is the ultimate loss of sovereignty. Finally, part 6, securing your sovereignty. So, how do you protect your business today? As a leader, you've got to audit your digital assets and cloud ecosystems immediately. Seriously, do not rely blindly on closed-source models for your daily operations. You can never leave your complete client data sitting solely on centralized systems. You need to actively maintain your own local backups and aggressively leverage open-source assets to protect your trade secrets. Because technology is never truly neutral, I want to leave you with this final urgent question. Who really controls the code running your daily operations? And what are you going to do today to reclaim your digital sovereignty? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Audit those systems, and I'll catch you in the next one.